when I teach people how to do this, I usually take a whole hour.
Yeah.
Mastering the Turkish Get Up as a transitional move by itself, like between pain and rehab and sport and life hardening and strength, is like awesome. And all the pieces of it actually apply. So you could say, we're just going to do the arm bar. Okay, now that's just scapular thoracic retraction. Or we're just going to do the hip extension. All right, well, that's like pelvic floor or whatever. But the whole movement is really hard. Involves real specific coordination of our trunk versus our hips and contralateral shoulder. And so we usually practice it what we call the naked get up, which is either with a yoga block, which doesn't weigh anything, or like your sneaker. So we can do that. I really would recommend you guys practicing the naked get up before you try a bell. And the reason is this. And actually think back to your like acute care, how you treat spinal cord injury people who are having problems with joint position sense. What do you do for them to get them to understand where they are? What's the technique? Joint approximation. Okay. So let's say you've got someone sitting edge of bed, and they're a stroke, and on their hemi side, they're having a hard time figuring out where that right leg is. You take their knee and you push it down to the ground. You approximate the talocrural joint. They go, oh, okay, there's a foot down there. Got it. Okay. Well, we don't need that level of help usually because we function all right. But some of us don't have as good a position sense. The kettlebell is kind of like a cheat because you can, number one, it's got a handle. So you don't have to do all the parts of the Turkish Get Up correctly because you can still hang on to it. But it also tells you which direction gravity is working at all times. So it approximates your joints and it gives you a better position sense than you otherwise would have if you just tried to do this the right way. So this does not, and your sneaker is not heavy enough to do that. We'll try it with this. I told her I wouldn't make her do it because it is harder. But if you master this, then you can start adding kettlebell weight or dumbbells or whatever. But bells are better because they're a little unwieldy in these positions. So we saw Dr. Chang, Mark Chang, find him on Facebook, like his blog, do all that stuff. Good writer, really relevant stuff. It's very similar to what we do. You see how he's set up? Whenever we use a kettlebell, we're going to pretend there's a bell here. We want to roll to the side of the bell with our hips flexed, our elbows in tight, and it's that whole 90-degree knee to elbow thing. We're going to take it back with us in one movement. That's to protect your shoulder. Okay? If you've got a 32-kilogram bell on this side of you, you try to pick it up like this, you probably won't be doing the kettlebell get up at all because your arm's totally done. She's going to position the block in front of her with her fist flat. Thumb even up a little bit, maybe even pinky. This is just for balance. Okay? Right arm's going to be straight, and what's going to happen is she's going to extend her left knee and slightly abduct it. Her left arm slightly abducted as well, maybe a little less than that. Okay? And so what we're doing here is just setting her up. You got to practice this before you get anywhere. Okay? Strong here. And I could put all my weight on that, no problem. Okay? We're going to work the parts of this, and eventually maybe we'll do a whole one. And everyone I want, when we're done with this, to practice, try to get one naked get up with your sneaker and see if you can be an effective helper of this movement. She's going to press her right foot into the ground hard. She's going to pull with her left elbow and shoulder blade into what we call the elbow prop. At all times, her eyes are through the block, looking at the ceiling, and she's just trying to get this as close to there as she can get it. Okay? So let's see. Deep breath, blow it out, kick up, and hold. Not bad. Okay? We call this our superhero shoulders position. She can go a little longer, reach up. There you go. So she's flat. Okay, like I said before, if I push down now, really just pushing her elbow down, okay? Good and strong. Now she'll go flat to her back. This is half of the arm bar. So you got somebody who's kind of a high-level guy, but you don't know how to get more strength out of their scapular retraction? Do this with a dumbbell or just their arm, and then move them around. Okay? This is also going to look very similar to like the sit-through stuff we've been doing in the walkouts. That's where all that comes from. I was just telling Pat, almost all exercise is a small variation on every Olympic movement you've ever seen. It's just a little teeny part because not everyone can do a snatch, but a lot of people can squat. So now we're going to go from the prop to the sweep and post. She's going to be straightening her arm. So she'll prop first, elbow up, eyes are up here. Strong. Notice this isn't falling. That's a very common mistake where it just drops in and you're using momentum to roll yourself over. She used her hip on that. Now she's going to sweep that arm out as externally rotated as she can and then straighten the arm. staying long and strong. Maybe a little more there. That's hard, okay? But that's just a reminder, the little cue she needed. Okay? Now we're going to do in reverse. Back to the elbow, unsweep, back flat. This is good. By this time, your clients will have dropped this thing many times.
I'm tired.
Prop, sweep post, extending the hips. Okay? This is going to look just like our sit root. So prop, strong, and I might be, for help, I might be approximating here, I might be cueing here, a little more here, good. And then eyes are nice, sweep and post, hold. Again, I can just work here, push down, try to shove her this way, move things this way, okay? Extend the hips, raise them up, hold. Really good setup, still good. Didn't adduct the hip, didn't insert or rotate anything. Nice and high, stacked up, hips back down, same place where they were. Back to the elbow, unsweep, flat. We're near there. The Turkish Get Up has kind of a rest built in, okay? It is the sit-through portion of this. It's kind of a reverse now. Where when she does this next piece, she's going to take one leg and feed it behind her, and we'll go slow. But if you're doing it right, it should feel like you can stay there for a long time, okay? So she'll prop. Good. Sweep and post. Good. Hips extend. So this left leg's going to come through, and the knee's going to be behind a line that's drawn between this ankle and that hand. A little bit more over. Boom. Now, if this were heavy, this is like rest right now. This is hard to hold here because her muscles are doing it. She's going to feed back through, keeping the hips high. Nice. Down with the hips. Elbow, unsweep, and flat. Not bad so far. Knees dropping in a little bit. So these are, as we get more difficult, the rest of this is just standing up now, okay? But it's in a very stepwise way. If you guys are following along, she's bang on. She's really good, okay? Prop, hold. The worst part is when you're teaching this, and then you want to stop to talk and describe things, and then make them hold these hard positions. Okay, externally rotate, shoulder, up, post. Hips, feed it. Good, okay, perfect. Now, she's going to come to half kneel toward me. Yes. Let's go all the way. She's going to toe that foot up. She's going to stand. Good. She's going to reach far back as she can with this foot, just like in reverse now. Hold. She's going to bring this foot in a little bit and reach for the ground at the same time. There. She's got to wind up in this triangle position again. This is actually not bad. You see the line from the heel of the foot to the heel of the hand. That knee is behind it. Over here, way too much work. Even a little bit. If this is weighted, she's going to fall. If it's in front, it's just, again, too much work because she's not rest. So this should feel like a restful position. Then she's going to feed it through, staying high with the hips. A little more stack. Good. Hips down, elbow down, unsweep, and flat. That's it. Nice job. Very good. That is way easier. I'll tell you. It's 8 kilograms. That weighs nothing. It's 8 kilograms, 15 pounds, whatever. 16 and a half. Again, constant joint approximation tells you where to go. And it's cheating. It's like this is lung division, and that's using a calculator. Does everyone have it? We'll use shoes. If you want to try with a bell, that's fine. You have to make one full one, at least on one side, before you're allowed to do a bell.